15 Google Pixel 3. A fantastic flagship that fits in the palm of your hand. The Google Pixel 3 is the smaller sibling to the Pixel 3 XL, with a smaller screen and battery, but the same power and excellent camera under the hood. This is a great handset for those looking for a top-flight phone that can be used comfortably with one hand, although those with smaller palms may need both still. Screen: at 5.5 inches, the screen on the Google Pixel 3 isn't exactly small, but it's one of the smallest in this list of the best smartphones. The Full HD resolution isn't quite as sharp as its larger sibling's QHD panel, but it still looks great. Camera: you get the same camera here as you do on the Pixel 3 XL, and that's great news as it's one of the best smartphone snappers we've ever tested. It's easy to use, extremely powerful and produces excellent shots. Battery life: the Google Pixel 3 battery life isn't as impressive as the larger Pixel 3 XL, which has a bigger power pack. It should give you a day of use, but don't expect more than that. Verdict: if you're looking for a compact flagship smartphone with a class-leading camera experience, the Google Pixel 3 is the best phone for the job. 14 Samsung Galaxy Note 8. The Samsung Galaxy Note 8 was the first time the brand's fabled range was seen as a real rival for the Galaxy S phones, the larger screen and more power starting to resonate with the average phone buyer. Screen: the Note 8 maximizes Samsung's dual curved edge and nearly bezel-less infinity display to the point where this phone feels like a mini tablet from the future. It's more squared off than the Galaxy S phones, but still lovely to look at. Camera: the camera on the Note 8 is superb and near the front of the pack for all-round quality. On the rear, its dual lenses allow for optical zoom as well as digital zoom, as well as live focus, which enables you to do all kinds of effects including blurring the background, even after you've taken the shot. Battery life: the battery in the Note 8 isn't best in class, you can thank the large screen and slender design for that, although the Note 9 has managed to achieve better results. But it'll still last you all day unless you're streaming a lot of video or using it with the brightness pumped up. Verdict: the Note 8 has leapt up the rankings thanks to a mega price drop. It's much more palatable thanks to the launch of the Note 9. You might want to check that out, but the Note 9 is now a pretty stunning buy for the cost. 13 iPhone XR, the best iPhone for battery life. The iPhone XR, pronounced 10R, is a cheaper smartphone from Apple aimed at opening up its mobile range to more consumers, with a range of colors, premium design, and still a decent slug of power under the hood. Screen: the iPhone XR may be the cheapest of Apple's 3 new iPhones, but it sits in the middle of the trio in terms of screen size with its 6.1-inch display. This provides lots of space for movies and games, although its resolution is under Full HD. Camera: the camera on the iPhone XR doesn't hit the same heights as its XS siblings, and portrait mode is a little lacking, but it still offers up the same intuitive Apple interface and an auto mode that makes the best of most scenarios. Battery life: the shining light for the iPhone XR is its battery life. If you're looking for an iPhone with great endurance, this is it, with the XR easily lasting a full day on a single charge. Verdict: the iPhone XR is one of the best handsets Apple has ever made, and that's mainly down to the excellent battery life. 12 LG G7 ThinQ, a featured packed flagship smartphone. The LG G7 ThinQ is an impressive little phone from the brand, irritating name aside, bringing with it a strong package and a decent price in many regions. Screen: LG's super bright screen might not be OLED, LCD is preferred here, but it's capable of delivering good peak brightness, can handle HDR10 and Dolby Vision playback, and has a large, expansive look with a smaller notch. It's a little large to hold, but it's one of the most capable screens around. Battery life: at 3000 mAh, the LG G7 ThinQ isn't the largest on the market, and it shows in the performance. It's not terrible, with some clever background processing keeping things going, but it'll only last you around a day when others are starting to eke into 2. Camera: the smart camera here is great if you want to capture more of the picture, with a much wider field of view bringing in more information. The smart sensor tries to work out what's in front of you, with great results, but only when it gets things right. It's not the best camera out there, but you can take some stellar shots. Verdict: it's so tight at top of our best smartphone list that the small tweaks can make all the difference, and LG impresses thanks to offering up a tightly made package for a pretty reasonable price. It's similar to many other top Android phones out there, but you'll certainly find some elements to enjoy here. 11. Honor View 20. The best Honor phone to date offers up a real punch hole. The Honor View 20 is the best phone to come out of the Chinese brand, with a striking rear design, which may divide opinion, plenty of power under the hood, an impressive 48MP camera and a punch-hole display which ushers in the post-notch revolution. Screen: there's a huge 6.4-inch display on the View 20, giving you plenty of space to play with. It's the location of the front-facing, 25MP camera within the screen which is the real talking point though, as rather than appearing in a bezel or a notch which juts into the screen, it's surrounded by screen. It's different, but will it catch on? Battery life: the Honor View 20 has a big 4,000 mAh and the result is a battery which will comfortably last through an entire day and into the next on a single charge. Camera: the View 20 is the world's first smartphone to boast a 48MP rear camera, as the firm has used Sony's new sensor to provide a camera which really packs a punch. Verdict: an ultra-high-resolution camera and punch-hole screen are the highlights on the Honor View 20, and they set a standard this year's more expensive phones will need to match. 10. OnePlus 6T, a genuine flagship phone for less. The price of flagship phones are rising every year, but you don't need to pay top dollar for a top-notch experience. OnePlus offers flagship phones at a lower price point, and while its first few handsets didn't trouble the established names, its more recent efforts have really pushed the likes of Samsung, Apple, and co. Screen: this may be a cheap flagship phone, but you still get a huge 6.41-inch AMOLED display providing colorful, bright and punchy images. It may only have a Full HD resolution, and there's a notch at the top, but for the price it's difficult to knock. Battery life: OnePlus has increased the size of the battery in the 6T over the 6 it replaces, and that's resulted in improved battery life with the handset easily lasting a full day on a single charge. Camera: there's a dual camera setup on the rear of the OnePlus 6T, and while it doesn't reach the same heights as the Google Pixel 3, Huawei P20 Pro or Samsung Galaxy S9, when you consider the price it's still an accomplished offering. The OnePlus 6T is a good-looking and powerful smartphone that can compete with handsets from the larger and more established brands on the market while undercutting them in price. 9. iPhone X, a true turning point for the iPhone. The iPhone X, although it's pronounced 10, was the redesigned Apple phone that iFans had been crying out for, and even though it's now been superseded by the iPhone XS and iPhone XS Max, it's still a great buy. Screen: the 5.8-inch OLED screen is the best display Apple has ever crammed into an iPhone. It's far ahead of the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus for so many reasons: the sharpness, the quality, the fact that it fills the whole front of the phone, and the color reproduction. Battery life: the iPhone X's battery life is pretty good, but it's by no means best in class. If you're a very heavy user you might struggle to last more than 12 hours, but for most users it'll comfortably last a whole day. Cameras on iPhones have always been superb, and the iPhone X is no different. The camera on the X is often stunning, delivering still shots that are rich with detail. Perhaps not quite as brilliant as the Pixel 2 XL, but still right up there with the best. Verdict: this is the phone to buy if you want to treat yourself to a high-end handset. A little extra per month for something you really enjoy taking out of your bag or pocket is worth it. 8. Google Pixel 3 XL, one of the best phones. Camera. Screen: it's hard to ignore the 6.3-inch display which dominates the front of the Google Pixel 3 XL, but it still offers a chin bezel providing space for one of the two stereo front-facing speakers. The QHD resolution and HDR support ensure everything looks great, but the notch is a little ugly. Battery life. The battery life on the Google Pixel 3 XL exceeds many of its rivals, comfortably lasting a day on a single charge, and sometimes getting halfway through the next two, depending on your usage. Camera. You may only be getting a single camera on the rear of the Pixel 3 XL, but do not underestimate it. The camera here is capable of producing some simply staggering results, making shooting great photos easy and fun. Verdict: it's the right fit for people who don't mind the notch cut out at the top and have already adjusted their grip for bigger smartphones in the past. 7. Samsung Galaxy S9, a great phone for the smaller-handed. Screen. A QHD 5.8-inch screen takes up most of the front of the phone, and it's still a stunning design. Brighter, more colorful, and capable of showing the best of movies, the Super AMOLED tech is once again showing itself to be best thing to look at on a smartphone. Battery life. Battery life is a little disappointing for a top-end smartphone, meaning you'll need to think about a top-up during the day if you're a harder user. Wireless and fast charging capabilities help with this though. Camera. It's only a single sensor on the rear of the Galaxy S9, unlike the Galaxy S9 Plus, meaning it's not as good at photography. But don't think the S9 takes poor photos, as they're still stunning, and in low light it's a sterling performer, with very little noise. Verdict: the Galaxy S9 is a smartphone with all the top-end features you'd want, and more on top. It's not quite at the level of the S9. 6. iPhone XS. iPhone XS Max, the best iPhones Apple has ever made. Screen. The 5.8-inch OLED screen on the iPhone XS is the same as the one you'll find on the iPhone X, so it's the 6.5-inch offering on the XS Max which has really grabbed our attention, fantastic for video streaming and gaming. Battery life. It has improved a little on both handsets over the iPhone X, but you'll still find yourself plugging both of these phones in each night to ensure you'll get through a whole day in the morning. Camera. The dual camera setup on both the iPhone XS and iPhone XS Max is fantastic. The Smart HDR mode makes images even clearer, brighter, and more detailed, and Apple's famously intuitive interface makes snapping great shots a breeze. If you're after the latest and greatest iPhone, look no further. And if your hands are as big as your bank balance, the iPhone XS Max takes Apple's smartphone to a whole new level with plenty of additional screen space. 5. Huawei P20 Pro, an excellent flagship smartphone with top-notch triple-dot cameras. Huawei P20 Pro is one of the best phones the brand has ever produced, and it's still troubling the top of our charts. Even if you've never heard of this brand before, the P20 Pro is a phone that deserves its place among the very best brands out there. Screen. The 6.1-inch display is only Full HD, but that does help with battery life. This is actually probably one of the weakest parts of the phone, as it lacks the color reproduction of its rivals, but it does come with a screen protector pre-fitted, which is a nice touch. Battery life. The Huawei P20 Pro will get you a day and a half of light to moderate use. It goes down after a full month's effort, filling it with apps, but even still we're getting a good day's hard use, which is great. Camera. The camera is the standout feature on the Huawei P20 Pro, offering 3 lenses, and they're actually useful. The resolution is pin-sharp thanks to brilliant image stabilization, the software photo optimization is excellent, and having that 40MP sensor has been boosted well by Leica for good low-light performance. Verdict. The main issue you have to overcome with the P20 Pro is the fact you might not be familiar with the brand, but not only is Huawei a worthy competitor to Apple and Samsung, but it's the most likely to get the bigger price drops first. For Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, still a top Android flagship, now at a lower price. Screen. The Super AMOLED 6.2-inch display is still one of the best around, with super colors, great dynamic range and, essentially, the very best viewing experience you can have on a mobile phone. Battery life. The battery life on the S9 Plus is better than that seen on the smaller S9, thanks to the 3,500 mAh battery in the Plus model, although it's probably the weakest part of the phone, not offering as much life as we'd have liked. Camera. The camera on the Galaxy S9 Plus is among the best on the market, and the dual aperture capability offers some startlingly good snaps when things get a little darker. Verdict: if you're after a bigger phone with all the features that matter on board, the Galaxy S9 Plus is that and more. 3. Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the best Huawei phone to date.
Huawei Mate 20 Pro promises a vastly more powerful and intuitive experience than any Mate before it. Hyper-optical patterns and an 8-edge curved design combine fluid aesthetics and powerful, pragmatic functionality. A biometric in-screen fingerprint scanner allows you to unlock with just a single tap. Speakers are cleverly hidden within the USB Type-C port. The 7nm Kirin 980 is the world's first processor with dual NPU. Mate 20 Pro's Leica triple camera has an ultra-wide angle lens to extend your creative canvas, letting you capture stunning landscapes like never before. Super Macro is now clearer with even better details.
New Samsung Galaxy Note 9, one of the highest spec phones on the market. Screen: let's get right to that screen. It's beautiful. Yes, it's a bit narrow if you're coming from the Note 5 or similar, but the way it wraps around the frame, the smaller bezels and the impressive color reproduction and brightness make it a real favorite. Battery life: with 4,000 mAh under the hood, the Note 9 has one of the biggest batteries Samsung has ever thrust into a device, meaning it can easily last through the day, plus it has new cooling tech to help it last longer in gaming sessions, although we've not seen much proof of that. You can also charge over wireless easily, and fast charging boots in 17% battery in 15 minutes. Camera: the cameras on Samsung phones are part of the reason they rank so highly in our list. The sheer capability and low light performance is impressive. Photos are definitely more on the colorful side, but there are more AI smarts in the mix to help you get the right shot at the right time. Verdict: it's hard to wrap the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 into a mini verdict. It does so much, and we've not even touched on the new, camera remote-enabled Bluetooth S Pen. The expansive, quality screen, the battery life and the camera all combine to make this a stunning smartphone, if you can afford it. 1. Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, the best smartphone around. Screen: the Super AMOLED 6.4-inch display has been measured as the very best around, with super colors, great dynamic range and, essentially, the very best viewing experience you can have on a mobile phone. Battery life: the battery life on the Galaxy S10 Plus is an improvement over the S9 Plus, thanks to the larger 4,100 mAh battery inside. It'll easily reach bedtime with double digits still left in the tank. Camera: the trio of cameras on the Galaxy S10 Plus are among the best on the market, building on the excellent setup on the S9 series by offering more features, shooting modes, and overall clarity. The Galaxy S10 Plus is packed full of the best Samsung has to offer, and it comes together to give you the best smartphone experience around right now.